The first stage that marriage will go through is what we call the romantic stage. That is the love stage. That is the time that she is your oxygen and all her enemies are your carbon dioxide. That stage, you become blind. So many of us will enter into this particular stage before they make selection. That is when, if it is not with the guidance and protection of Allah Azza wa Jal, you commit serious mistakes in your selection. Please, let your mind make the selection a theoretical selection, and let other people you trust aid you in that wide range of selection before you can invest your emotions, your heart into it. Otherwise, you make big mistake. Before even seeing the person and meeting the person, what you have in your mind, the person should conform with that particular thing before you will even come closer to that particular person. Otherwise, you go closer to that particular person, the romantic stage gets activated, all the bad mistakes and all the bad features in her, your mind can never read them anymore again. The romantic stage. Then the second stage is what we call in psychology the disillusionment stage, or in simple language the distraction stage. That is the stage that you all get well established in your marriage, and probably you have a child now, she has a profession, you have a profession, and then your focus, the object will begin to change. No longer your wife and no longer your husband. She's struggling for the child. You are no longer sleeping on the same bed with her, but then the child is more important than you. Your job might be more important than her. So you become distracted and she also becomes distracted. It's a very dangerous stage, but the relationship will get to that particular stage where your attention will be diverted by other objects in life. Then the third stage is what we call the dissolution or the adjustment stage. So you readjust and come to agree and accommodate and adapt within that particular reason and agree with certain things and continue, or you move to divorce. May Allah protect all of us from that. Each of the stages, what do you need? My warning to you is that the usual challenge in partner selection is the ability to prioritize moral or character beauty over physical beauty. And the romantic period, if you don't make your selection in your mind theoretically before you enter in that particular romantic, it blocks our ability to read the personality of that particular person, and then we just tend to love that person. No matter the mistakes they tell us, we won't agree again. At the romantic level, number one, the first alphabet of marriage. The key ingredient before you marry that person, look at the sense of mercy in that person. That's the first alphabet of marriage, mercy. Allah created this world because of mercy. That we are coming to worship Allah. In that worship, we need taqwa. And within that particular taqwa, the most pronounced feature, that the most pronounced character that evolves out of taqwa is what we call mercy. So Ar-Rahman, the most mentioned feature of Allah Azza wa Jalla is Ar-Rahman. And the most mentioned feature of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. You are marrying somebody who is not merciful to even the mother, somebody who is not merciful to the father, not merciful to the sisters and the brothers, not merciful to the people around them. If the element of mercy is mentioned, irrespective of love, we all know in psychology, love will get to the level of habituation. Whatever is attractive in her, it will get to a level of habituation. And for that matter, you lose the effect of that particular trigger and that particular stimuli. So definitely there should be mercy. It is with mercy that we manage relationship. And the second alphabet is affection, adoration, and attachment. You need to upgrade your love, the mawadda, into affection. Affection is that type of love that you move it from only the heart to the mind and have reasons why you love him. Have logical reasons why you love that particular person. Why do you love your wife? Not only the physical distance. You should have a reason for loving her, and have a reason for loving him. That's the affection. You move it from the level of affection to adoration. Adoration level, the love is mixed with respect. You respect your wife and respect your husband, and then express that particular respect in a form of love. And there should be attachment, bond, and trust between you and her. These are active ingredients, the next letter of marriage. And the third one is what we call romance. Please, Romance is an institution, it's a faculty that each and every one of you would have to attend and earn a degree or master's or PhD in romance before you can get a successful wife. Normally we leave it to only the girls and we leave it to only the female. That is true. But you, the man, you have to know what we mean by romance. And more especially my sisters, please forget about the fact that you are attractive to him now and he's yearning to get you. The romance level of every relationship sometimes will last as short as 2 weeks, some 2 months, some 2 years. So no matter how he is attracted to you and admires you, wallahi, after 2 years, it is not the mawadda again, it is the mercy, the rahmah that will keep what? The relationship. But if you have a way, a technique of recreating your mercy and reframing your romance and renewing your romance, definitely you will spark and give a different tone to what? Your romance to your husband. So ladies, you have a lot to do. The type of dress that you wear, as time goes on, after a year or two, you can't use those dresses to attract your husband again. You have to change them. The type of tahajjud that you perform on the bed, the style of it should change. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, تَتَجَافَى جُنُوبُهُمْ عَنِ الْمَضَاجِعِ يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ خَوْفًا وَطَمَعًا. Don't link it only to what? Only the Allah Akbar tahajjud. No, it has to change. It's not always that he has to be on top or you are under or this thing or it's Allah says harfun lakum. Your wives, Allah Azza wa Jal in connoting romance tells us that nisa'ukum harthun lakum. Your wives are what? Farm to you. They are farms. That's the romance. And you as the farmer, you decide to approach the farm in front, behind, left and right, west, east, right, anyway. When you have a farm, what do? You farm and you remove all the weeds. You want it to be very nice. So you invest, you put in fertilizer, you make sure that pesticides are there, you do it. It's the same way you have to protect and ensure that everything that your lady needs to be beautiful, you have to give to what? To her. And buy and buy and buy and buy. So the romance stage, you need these 3 things. You need what we call mercy. You need what we call affection in the form of what? Adoration and attachment. Then you need what we call romance. How to recreate, reframe and renew it. There will be a time that you need to use your food. There will be a time that you need to use your body. There will be a time that you need to use what? Your language. There will be a time that you need to use your patience. There will be a time that you need to use your sweet words to be romantic to what? Your husband.